There's a compound that costs almost nothing. You can mix it at home in under a minute. A randomized controlled trial found that it removes significantly more plaque and halts decay more effectively than toothpaste or mouthwash in a single use, especially in the spots your brush can never quite reach. And it does all this without killing a single beneficial bacteria in your mouth. See, your mouth has a microbiome, just like your gut. There are complex communities of bacteria living on your teeth, your gums, and your tongue. The balance of that entire ecosystem determines whether you're moving toward healthy enamel or toward decay. It really is that simple. Most people try to manage this by brushing or using antiseptic mouthwash. That helps to a certain degree, but the problem is it kills everything, the harmful species and the beneficial ones alike. This works completely differently, and it's practically free. Instead of sterilizing your mouth, it changes the environment. It shifts the pH. And when that pH shifts, decay stops progressing, and enamel actually starts to remineralize after just one use. In this video, you will discover how a simple pH balancing compound reshapes your oral microbiome, why dentists rarely talk about it, and the exact at-home protocol that could help stop decay and restore your enamel starting today. Before we get into it, can you do us a quick favor? Like this video and subscribe to join our healthy community. Also, type yes in the comments section now so we can see how many of you are interested in this type of video. Alright, let's get started. Why the microbiome matters. It's worth understanding why microbiomes deserve so much of our attention in the first place. Whether we're talking about the lung biome, the gut biome, the skin biome, or the oral biome, each of these ecosystems plays a direct role in how our bodies function and defend themselves. The gut lining is a particularly good example of why this matters. It acts as a gatekeeper, helping keep beneficial bacteria in the right place while preventing harmful bacteria from crossing into tissues where they don't belong. When that lining is compromised, the balance of the entire microbial community can shift, often triggering inflammation or other downstream health issues. The same logic applies inside your mouth. Your oral cavity hosts its own dense, self-regulating community of bacteria, and just like the gut, it relies on a stable environment to keep harmful species in check without wiping out the beneficial ones. Research across these different biomes consistently points to one theme: balance, not elimination, is what drives long-term health. When you disrupt that balance, whether through harsh antiseptics, poor diet, or environmental stress, you open the door for the more damaging bacterial species to take over. Understanding this principle is the key to understanding why the approach we're about to cover works so differently from conventional oral care methods. How pH controls your oral bacteria. Now, if we get back to the oral biome, your mouth is constantly shifting between acidic and alkaline states throughout the day. Every time you eat, especially if you're consuming sugars and carbohydrates, the bacteria living in your mouth metabolize those foods and produce organic acids as a byproduct. That drop in pH creates conditions that favor acid-tolerant species, and these are precisely the bacteria associated with dental plaque, the same ones linked to decay and to the gradual erosion of enamel. Your saliva actually contains a natural defense against this. It carries bicarbonate, essentially your body's own version of baking soda, and its job is to buffer that acidity before it causes lasting damage. But depending on your diet, hydration levels, stress, and how frequently you eat throughout the day, that buffering system can become overwhelmed and fall behind. A study published in the National Journal of Maxillofacial Surgery looked at this directly. 25 participants rinsed with a simple sodium bicarbonate solution made from water and baking soda. Researchers found that salivary pH increased significantly afterward, and there was a modest but measurable reduction in bacterial colony counts, including species specifically associated with plaque formation. In other words, the rinse actually reduced the bacteria responsible for plaque building up on the teeth. This works because baking soda is chemically identical to the bicarbonate your saliva already produces. When you rinse with it, you raise the pH inside your mouth and create an environment that's less hospitable for acid-producing, decay-causing bacteria. It's a simple mechanism, but an effective one. Unlike antiseptic mouthwash, which kills bacteria broadly and indiscriminately, baking soda shifts the overall balance of the ecosystem rather than wiping it out entirely. You're changing the environment your bacteria live in, not sterilizing it. The Plaque Data. If we look further into the research, there's actual hard data, and it becomes even more practical. A randomized controlled trial published in BDJ Open tested sodium bicarbonate formulations against a conventional non-baking soda toothpaste. After just a single brushing, the baking soda formulations removed significantly more plaque across the board, with a p-value under 0.0001. That level of statistical significance means the results were extremely unlikely to be due to chance. What makes this study especially interesting is where the difference showed up. A post-hoc analysis revealed that the biggest advantage for baking soda was in the lingual interproximal areas, the surfaces between your teeth on the tongue side. These are notoriously difficult zones to clean effectively, even with good brushing technique. In these hard-to-reach spots, baking soda removed roughly 50% more plaque compared to the conventional toothpaste. The researchers suggested this isn't just a mechanical effect from brushing harder or longer. Sodium bicarbonate appears to disrupt the structure of the plaque biofilm itself. Plaque isn't just loose debris. It's a sticky, organized community of bacteria embedded in a protective matrix. Baking soda seems to weaken that matrix, making the biofilm easier to dislodge, even in areas where your toothbrush has poor leverage or limited access. This doesn't mean you should throw away your toothbrush or stop using floss. Mechanical cleaning still matters, and antiseptic rinses can serve a purpose, especially if you have active gum disease or a specific dental condition your dentist is monitoring. But for everyday oral health maintenance, baking soda offers a much gentler approach that still delivers strong results. It works by changing the chemistry of the environment, rather than relying solely on abrasion or harsh antimicrobial agents. For many people, that combination of effectiveness and gentleness makes it a practical addition to a daily routine. The simple protocol. Here's how to use it in practice. Start with a simple baking soda rinse. Dissolve half a teaspoon of baking soda in a full glass of water. You don't want to go super concentrated, as a mild solution is enough to shift pH without irritating your gums or soft tissues. Swish for about 30 seconds, then spit it out. The best time to do this is after acidic meals or drinks, such as coffee, citrus fruits, or soda. These are the moments when your mouth's pH drops the most. And rinsing at this point helps buffer that acidity. You're essentially supporting your saliva's natural buffering system, creating conditions that are more favorable for beneficial bacteria while breaking down the environment that allows harmful, acid-loving bacteria to thrive. For brushing, if you use a baking soda toothpaste, you can get that additional plaque removal effect shown in the studies. You can also sprinkle a small amount of baking soda directly onto your toothbrush. Many people still prefer to use some regular toothpaste for flavor or specific benefits. For example, some like a charcoal-based toothpaste for its mild whitening effect without harsh chemicals. You can mix a little baking soda in with that. This combination works particularly well in those hard-to-reach interproximal areas that the randomized trial highlighted. Pair this routine with good hydration, which maintains steady saliva flow, and by limiting sugar intake, which reduces the fuel available for plaque-forming bacteria. Together, these habits create a strong foundation for oral health. Remember, baking soda is not meant to replace brushing or flossing. It's an additional layer that helps support the environment your mouth needs. Many people eat well, exercise, and do all the right things, yet still struggle with bad breath or feel like their oral care isn't working. Sometimes the missing piece is simply supporting the oral biome against stress and dietary triggers that throw it off balance. Instead of disrupting your oral biome every day, you can actually support it by managing pH and using something clinically shown to remove more plaque than many expensive and sometimes harsh alternatives. A simple box of baking soda, a glass of water, and 30 seconds of your time. If you found this helpful, tap the like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into natural, science-backed health strategies. Share this video with a friend or family member who's always worried about cavities or enamel erosion.